with the Heuser Clinic.
Come on in.
Thanks for inviting me today.
Oh, thanks for coming.
Okay, Connie, why don't we start by you pull out everything that you prepared this morning, and then we'll go through it all and try to add up the calories and the grams of fat and how much sugar they actually took to school today.
2 juice boxes.
Okay.
Daughter takes grape jelly sandwiches, and she took a Go-Gurt. Our daughter took one of the granola bars, tortilla chips, 2 cookies, whole wheat,
Okay.
half a sandwich.
Let's sit down now and we can kind of add all this up and figure out just what they took with them to school.
Okay.
And after we get that determined, then I'd love to take you to the grocery store, and then we can maybe try to find some things to be a comparison to what you're doing and see if we can't do just a little better for the kids every day. Okay, so whenever I look at cookies for my kids, I try to buy the healthy choice cookies or reduced fat cookies. Your cookies are 170 calories, and that's for 3 cookies.
Okay.
And there's 8 grams of fat, and there's 24 grams of total carbohydrate. Peanut butter's always 2 tablespoons. And it's one thing that I can get by with probably just 1 tablespoon, which cuts everything back in half. So then you're only 80 calories instead of 190,
And I would say we probably do 1 tablespoon because the kids don't like it real thick.
Yeah.
And they only use 1 piece of bread.
Your fat is a little high. It's if you bought the baked, you would probably have anywhere from 1.5 to 3 grams of fat. All the carbohydrate in here are complex. So that's not so bad. You get a couple grams of protein, and the reason for that is that these are whole grain. There's
okay.
more of the grain, the good carbohydrate, and you'll always see a couple grams of protein.
Okay.
In your juice box, there's 100 calories, and it's 6 3/4 ounces. And there's nothing in here except sugar. There's 25 grams of carbs and 25 grams of sugar. And your jelly, and see, this is where people are like, oh, well, jelly's sugar, but look, 1 tablespoon of jelly is 50 calories, and it's 13 total grams of carbs, and 8 of those are sugar. The serving size is 2 bars. That's another thing right there. Do you need 2 bars? And in each bar is 90 calories, so you're going to get 180 calories. You're going to get 6 grams of fat, a total of 29 grams of carbs, and 2 fibrous. When you have high, fairly decent amounts of protein in a product, it can help reduce the glycemic index of a simple sugar. You'll actually burn them as an energy source. The Go-Gurt is 1 tube, and it's 2 grams of fat. And the calories are 80, but all the calories are sugar again in this. 13 grams of carb, and 11 of them are sugar. And there's 2 grams of protein. There are a lot of breads that 1 slice is almost 25 grams of carbohydrate. And I try to look at bread where I could get 2 slices for about the same amount of carbohydrate.
Okay.
Now, in your 1 slice of bread, there's 80 calories. There's only 1 gram of fat, which is super. There's only 16 carbohydrate. But if you have 2 slices of this bread, you'd be considered 32 grams of carbs, and that's really more than it's a serving and a half. Okay. So in order to have a sandwich, you're over carbohydrating. And for people who are counting calories, it's not a good choice where you could get, and I'll show you the breads at the store where you get 2 slices for 18 grams of carb. I'm so glad your children like whole wheat bread, because a lot of children won't eat brown bread.
Actually, we don't buy white bread. We've never bought white bread.
Okay, so are you ready? Let's go to the store.
Yes.
And we'll sleuth all this out and see what else we can come up with.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's go.
Okay, Connie, we're here at Bell's Market. Let's go on in. Let's get to the bread in the cookie aisle. I buy this, for my kids, I buy the Earth Grain. This is the 35-calorie bread. For 2 slices, again, it's only 17 grams of carbohydrate, only 70 calories. But you still get the fiber. very little sugar and the same amount of protein. And your cookies, I mean, were really pretty good. But see, these are only 140 calories.
And that was 170.
They were 170, same amount of cookies.
Okay.
Okay?
Right.
The fat is 5 versus 8.
8, okay.
The carbs, there's 24, there's 23.
Mm-hmm.
Again, the sugars are about the same, but you're getting less fat. This is going to be a better choice with them, and then dipping it in some skim milk would hopefully help neutralize some of those simple sugars. My kids love these devil's food chocolate.
We have bought
so
those
these
before.
are a great choice for you. Again, they have no fat in them at all for one cookie.
Wow.
Okay?
Yeah.
And then only 12 grams of total carbs. And
7.
a lot of them are 7, but look how low the gram of carbohydrate is. So it's a nice little treat for them. I buy these because I think these are really the best chips. They're not baked like the baked chip. They are like a real chip. There's only 75 calories in about 20 chips, which is more than a handful.
No, that's more than a serving, really.
And I like them because they seem like real potato chips. And again, the carbohydrates are low. There's even a little bit of protein, but there's no fat in this.
Yeah.
Look at the difference. In the baked Cheetos, we get to have 34 pieces. Okay? We only get 21 of the real Cheetos. But we get 160 calories in the 21, and we only get 130 calories with 34 pieces. Also, only 5 grams of fat. You get twice the fat in here. Your carbohydrates are similar, and your protein is similar. The problem here is that this is all sugar. This Go-Gurt really gets her going. Because of the 13 total carbs, 11 of them are sugar. There's 100 calories in here, and there's only 60 calories in here.
Wow.
It's the same serving size, but there's 7 sugars in the Dannon and 14.
Yeah.
Okay? The total carbohydrate in this whole thing is 11 grams. Total carbohydrate in here is 19.
Yeah.
So you're just getting more carbs. But they're both free and light. The Dannon product ends up being the better choice.
More sugar.
Your peanut butter had 190 calories. This is the same amount of calories. This has 12 grams of total fat, though. Yours had 16. The saturated fat is in here 2.5, and yours was 3. 8 grams of protein, same as in yours. So it's all about just eliminating a little bit of the bad fat. But your peanut butter is right on. Most of American kids have a sandwich that is comprised of what we call mystery meat. One slice of bologna gives you 140 calories. Now this bologna is only 13 grams of fat. Now here's a bologna that's 98% fat-free. This tells you that this has probably been made with turkey. But only 0.5 grams of fat. When you look at the mystery meat type foods, you really got to sleuth it out and try to get as low in the fat as possible. And try to never eat real bologna. You're going to be much better off with this fat-free bologna that is actually made with 98% turkey and not a lot of other additives. These Lunchables, the average grams of fat are between 17 and 20 grams inside this box. And it's far too many calories and not enough nutrition. It's mostly fat and sugar. So it's not a quality lunch. It's a convenience lunch that gets your child nowhere. So they have fruit punch, raspberry ice.
Fruit punch.
Yeah, that looks good. Instead of them having those juice boxes, let them have all that flavor with water. And no sugar.
Right.
And the other thing they need, and which I love, is that your children drink milk. And hopefully they're choosing the skim or the 1% at school because they need the vitamin D for their bone development. Our kids are really having issues with lots of bone development because they drink so many soft drinks. And we really want them to stay away from that. So, hey, thanks for joining Connie and I today. If you have other questions or things you want to know, please feel free to go to our website, HeuserClinic.com, where we're the science of fitness.